Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just going over to Bitcoin, big of the CoinsKid crew. So the chart above is the Nasdaq and the chart below is Bitcoin. At the moment, this is where we are for Bitcoin, just there, roughly. Where are we right now? Trading at about 28,805. So Bitcoin at the moment is going through a correction, okay? It is what it is, you know, we come up, we come down, it's the way it works. I've taught you that, okay? So right now we are in a correction, providing we can come back to support, we're all good, basically. But the minute we lose support, I will keep you updated. I will tell you the minute it's looking really bearish, but at the minute, you know, we have to respect what the charts are doing. We are looking pretty bullish. We're back above the EMAs on the weekly time frame, something we want to see in a bull market, and most importantly an uptrend obviously is just holding those EMAs in a bullish cross as well, which historically has always been good for us to do that, you know, if we want to be in an uptrend or a bull market. It really is that simple. So right now on the Nasdaq above from 2006 into 2008, I think we've done in the Nasdaq just there what we've done for Bitcoin. Okay, we're putting a regular A, B, C wave correction before continuation, so we can kind of look at this as to give us a guide to what we should expect if we have put in this big ABC correction for Bitcoin, which is something I do anticipate and we've been looking at for a very long time. So providing we can hold all support going forward and we don't lose this low, then we could be looking at this sort of opportunity here like we did in the Nasdaq way back there when people would have been really bearish after this big correction. Okay, so we've got this big A, the B that made a higher high, and then boom, the C wave drop, and right now we've had a beautiful recovery. So providing we can sort of consolidate here, keep going and keep coming up the stairs, and we get some kind of breakout, we could be looking at some kind of beautiful markup like we did there for the DXY. Okay, so anything's possible obviously, but you know, I've not got a crystal ball, but right now there is some kind of similarities between this correction where we came down, made the A wave, we got the B wave which was an irregular high, and then the big C wave drop, bottomed out, got back above the EMAs, on support and never looked back. And right now we've got the A wave, the B wave which is an irregular high, some kind of bull trap, big C wave drop, getting back above the EMAs, hold support, and we're not going to look back, are we? So I know people are still bearish, I completely understand that, but at the minute all I'm doing is relaying to you what I see in the charts. At the moment there's no reason to be bearish because Bitcoin is above key support. The minute it loses key support, that is the time to be bearish, okay? So looking at the crypto fear and greed index right now for Bitcoin and the entire crypto space, we're currently sitting at 52, which is around about neutral. If we're looking for some kind of correction, a consolidation and a range before continuation, that's a good area to accumulate Bitcoin. But again, nothing I say is financial advice, okay? So last month we were sitting at 68, last week we were sitting at 61, so we are cooling down a little bit, so that's good. That's what we want to see. Okay, so we go up the stairs, go sideways, go up the stairs, go sideways, so on and so forth. So let's take a look at the CBBI right now. So the CBBI is currently sitting at 27. I'm going to keep an eye on this as best as I can for you. You know, I keep dropping it in. It's, some people say it's a silly indicator, but in my opinion it's not. It's a fantastic indicator, proven so. Look at when we were all the way down there at number 2, and I did say to you, dark green, number 2, fantastic opportunity, although it's not going to feel like an opportunity, and it absolutely was. Look at that, it was an opportunity just there, and it was an opportunity just there as well. So striking similarities between this bottom and this bottom, to be honest with you, because what we've got is some kind of dark green twice, and then we're leaving the dark green, entering the light green mode, and what we've got down here, some kind of double bottom down there. Okay, so we came down, we came up, made a double bottom, we came up, we came down, made a double bottom, but we lost the low. So I think that this bottom here is actually really strikingly similar to that bottom that we put in 2015 because of the structure as well of the price action that we've been looking at. So we can see here, if you take a look, this absolutely took off into space and it ran in to number 29 before it come in for a correction. Look at that. When it came in for its correction after hitting 29, it bottomed out at 20 before going up the stairs again. So striking similarities at the moment. We've kind of topped at 29 and right now we are pulling back in the CBBI, currently sit at 27. So is it a case we just kick back, relax, wait for Bitcoin to go through this correction, whether or not it's a month correction, 2-week correction, whatever, just wait for the CBBI to get down towards the sort of 20 mark like it did just there, and that would just be a really, really good little entry point married with the price. So I will keep you updated on this as best as I can, but looking at this chart, we were dark green, we've left dark green, we're not going light green like we did there, and that never not resulted in a beautiful impulsive move for Bitcoin. So this is what I'm saying, we have to respect the data, okay, regardless of the macro, regardless of everything feels depressing and things like that, whatever, just respect the data and respect the charts at the moment until we lose support. Okay, so we are in an uptrend, we're holding support for that uptrend, providing we fall back to all the support and keep, you know, holding that support. We have to respect we're in an uptrend, and that's all I'm trying to relay to you, okay? And there's going to be lots of opportunity on these pullbacks because, like I said to you, in a bull market, dips are for buying, not necessarily for crying. So let's take a look at the rainbow chart right now for Bitcoin, okay? So looking at Bitcoin rainbow chart quickly then, you can clearly see the blue zone right now is a big tick to that basically being a fire sale, just as it says there, basically a fire sale. It's written in ink just there, basically. Look at that in black and white. So right now, anytime you go into the blue zone, like I said to you, it's just a really good area to accumulate Bitcoin. And, you know, so far so good. That we've seen a beautiful reaction off that particular zone right now, and providing we can get a follow through, keep holding support, you know, have the little corrections, come back like you did here, like you did there, keep coming back, keep coming back. As long as you don't lose the structure right now, Bitcoin is actually found support down there in the blue zone and is beginning a full retracement to the high, with hopefully eventually getting all the way to this red zone, which is something it never did just there for Bitcoin, which would kind of say to me, and I've been looking at this for a very long time, that, you know, the reason we didn't get into the red zone right there is because we are actually in a peak to peak lengthening cycle. And I've gone through this with you before, that what we've got is from this peak to this peak was basically, I think that was 2 years, wasn't it? From that peak to that peak was 2 years. From that peak to that peak was 4 years. And I still stand by the fact that I think that if we start to go insane here, we could see potentially, you know, I'm not going to say 100% it's a certainty, but if we get this correction out of the way and we begin to take off again, we could actually see Bitcoin create a new all-time high before the halvening, which would absolutely catch everybody off guard. And what we would say, for me personally, it would just absolutely be a big tick to the fact that what we have got is just a large cycle here for Bitcoin that began after that big bear market, in the sense that what we've got is a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and right now we're looking at the blow off top wave 5 of this cycle, which would say we've got 2 years peak to peak, 4 years peak to peak, 6 years peak to peak, and every cycle we just increase in peak to peak cycles. Do you understand? So that would say to me, okay, if we get the cycle, the end of this cycle late 2023, early 2024, then you're looking at another 8 years before you get another top of the next cycle. Really, it's that simple, and you're just getting longer and drawn out in the cycles. So it's a possibility, only if we see, you know, the basically the big parabolic move here, the big blow off top phase of this cycle before this halvening right now for Bitcoin. Okay, so that's basically a little theory of mine that I've had for a very long time. Will it come true? I don't know, but at the minute we're kind of gearing up for it, and it would be amazing if we do get it. You know, it's going to catch everybody off guard, but not the CoinsKid crew, because this is something I've been relaying to you for a very long time. Let's dive into the Bitcoin chart right now. So looking at Bitcoin on a weekly time frame, then using the VRVP, this is a great little indicator. Drop into your charts, type VRVP. It's a free indicator, visible range volume profile. Drop into your charts. You can clearly see at the moment we've ran into this level of resistance just there on the 382, and below us is a pocket just there. So this is your previous level of resistance just there for Bitcoin. You see that? Where it's quite a lot of volume trading in that sort of range right now. So immediately, if Bitcoin does start to fall back, you could clearly see, using the VRVP, this swing high and this level here with this pocket could be a good area for Bitcoin to fall back to for support before continuation, which is roughly where the weekly 20 EMA is at 24,600 on the absolute dollar and cent right there. 24,600 right now. That's what it's trading at. Okay, so I think, you know, it wouldn't be out of the question to see some kind of correction coming back down, hold support, some kind of ABC, providing it can hold that support and doesn't start to fall below. Then, you know, Bitcoin's looking for continuation to the upside. Basically, the minute it starts to fall through all this support in EMAs, you're going to start to come back down, and you can clearly see there's a bit of a big pocket just there between Bitcoin on this low and this level of support just there, around about the 12k mark, isn't it, for Bitcoin? So at the minute, you know, we are above the key EMAs. We're looking pretty tasty, providing we can hold support, and we're slowly but surely coming up the stairs. If you take a look, we've got this resistance here, which was this low. We smashed through it. Okay, so we ran into resistance, come back in a higher low, broke through it, and then we ran into this resistance just here, which is a 236, came back in a higher low, and then busted and moved through it. And right now, you know, we are running into resistance, which is normal. This is what you see as you slowly but surely come back upstairs. So we ran into all this leg of resistance just there, which was previous support, and equally 382, and where this large volume profile is as well. So immediately you can see that if we do start to come back to a high level support like this did and like this did, into key resistance and back to a high level support, if we do start to come back to a high level support and start to go again and take out the 382, we've pretty much got a lot of thin air, haven't we, between the 382 at 29055 and then obviously this big leg up here to this leg of resistance, because there's a bit of a pocket just there. Do you see that? So Bitcoin could swiftly start to march towards a 702 fib and the 786 fib, which is this level here, which is a target of mine, roughly 46k, that I think Bitcoin's actually a technical target too. So at the minute we're sort of coming up, coming down, coming up, coming down, coming up, coming down, and eventually calling up where we bust a move, and we've got this sort of big pocket just there, not much resistance at all between that and between the 702 fib and the 786 fib, which is pretty much where that level of resistance is, you know, for Bitcoin. So that would be, I think, could come quite swiftly, providing we can hold this support, hold DMAs going forward, just sort of consolidate here, hold this in some kind of ABC, and we start to come up and we take out this 382 and the 05 fib at 33876, which is this low here. I think you could be looking at some kind of melt up towards that level quite swiftly, to be honest with you. So all we've got to do is get this correction out of the way over the next couple of months, the next couple of weeks, sorry. We look at some kind of big ABC coming back in here for Bitcoin, holding all these EMAs support, lose them, it's bearish, hold them, it's bullish, and start to break out, and they will be my next levels and my next targets. And they're sort of marrying up right now with this target here, the 46k with the VRVP. So I hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. For me, if Bitcoin does start to fall back, I'll be looking to load back up on the 20-week EMA as some bids. Take care, everyone. Back soon with an update on Bitcoin. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Bye bye.